welcome. Karina here, and today we are going to do a Vinyasa flow focusing on twist. So revolving through the torso and just kind of twist and shout, and feel free to shout if that is something that you need to do today. Let it go. So we're gonna move it out, and if you need to let it out with a big heavy breath anytime during our pose, you start feeling something bubbling up and needs to come out, don't fight that, let it go. And with everything going on right now with the COVID-19, everyone's responding differently. So don't question yourself. If you start going through waves of depression, or you already did that, or you haven't, quite pulled yourself out of it, I'm glad to see that you are on the mat, if that is your case. So we will move it out. A lot of twisting and moving through the torso really cleans and shakes things out. So if you have a block and usually use it for your practice, grab it. Or maybe if you want 2 blocks, sometimes it's nice, grab it. Or if you don't have that, 2 books. And I think that is good. And we are about to start. So let's begin in a comfortable seated position. So I want you to be able to root down through your sit bones and kind of even actually just move through the body. This might be the first movement of the day. It might be in the middle of the day after not doing anything, or at the end of the day, a busy day. So just welcome yourself to the mat. So begin to kind of still that movement and maybe close the eyes and bring your attention to your breath. Acknowledging the inhale and the exhale. Do that a few more times. And just even with that breath, bringing the attention to the breath, it moves things out. And then we get to make that a little bit deeper. So we're gonna take a nice deep inhale through the nose. Open the mouth and just release. And let that go, and even let your shoulders slump. Let the neck relax. Do that a couple more times. Let it be audible. Let that sound come out. Oh, hear yourself. Let it go. You don't need to hold on to anything. Good, and then when you're ready, let's begin to smooth the breath out by inhaling and exhaling through the nose. So inhale through the nose. Feel that long, deep breath go down through the chest and into the belly, and feel almost your torso rising and even your spirits rising with that inhale. And then keep that lift and exhale through the nose. A few more rounds. And exhale. Dedicate this time to yourself on the mat. Maybe dedicate the practice to someone who cannot be on the mat. If you know someone who's on the front line, who's as a doctor or a nurse, let's all send them some love and some light right now. 2 more breath cycles. And even you don't even need to know them. The first responders. Everybody out there. And the next time you complain about having to be in the house, think of them. Good. Gently bring your attention back to the breath and to your body and to your time on the mat. Inhale, let the arms reach up, palms face one another. Lift up nice and tall through the spine. So our first rotation here, we're going to exhale, rotate open to your right side. Take your left hand onto the thigh, your right hand back behind you as you gently press through the fingertips to lift up a little bit deeper through the spine. You can turn your head over the right shoulder. But I'm going to ask you to close your eyes and check in with this rotation where you're feeling it. And this first one, it could be tight. You're tight in the obliques, your waist muscles up through the ribs. Maybe you're starting to let it get stuck in the shoulders or the neck. Just breathe a little bit deeper and always find a little bit more space. But that's what this twist and the revolving is about, is not getting to your deepest, but then being able to breathe and then find just a little bit more of a twist. And use your next inhale coming out of the pose. Inhale, let the torso come up, center the arms up, shoulders roll back. Then another inhale, and then exhale, rotate to your left side. And again, the hand gently onto the thigh, your left fingertips back behind you, And then trying on this twist, breathing through it. We are just warming up, bringing your attention to the rotation in the torso. So we bring that later on into our standing poses. You'll be ready and you'll have that muscle memory already ingrained in your brain, that sensation. Good, inhale, let the arms lift up, let the torso come back center. Let's bend the elbows, open up through the chest. Nice deep breath, open your heart. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, let the hands come together, draw the thumbs into the heart center. And we always end the practice this way, but just with that, even the couple of rotations that we did, I ask you to close your eyes and set an intention. Your desired outcome, without having that huge lofty goal. What is it that you want from your mat? And even then, maybe it's just to go with the flow and see what is uncovered. And when we twist, what is uncovered? And then gently letting that intention go. And so when your mind wanders, maybe you can come back to that intention. So let's come into tabletop. Let your wrists be beneath the shoulders, knees below the hips. Starfishing the hands. Toes can be curled under, heels up. Get a nice stretch through the balls of the feet. Inhale, cow pose. And then exhale, pull the belly in around the back, come into cat. And then do that a few more times. You always take time to connect our breath to the body. But then I want you to focus here on the movement through the spine, from the hips up to the shoulders, as you really pull the belly in. And then rolling through that upper back, creating that sway into the lower back, but with control. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, cow. Exhale into your cat. And then gently, you're going to come back through center. If your toes are curled, you can come to the tops of the feet. We're going to come into a child's pose, toes together, knees open up wide, sink the hips back. And allow that breath to go down through the hips. You can move side to side. You can be onto the fingertips. You can be onto the palms. Let it be an active child's pose, because even right here, we're getting a nice active stretch through the body. Press down through the thumb mound all the way to the pinky mound, as if you were trying to pull yourself forward to the top of the mat. And then allow your shoulder blades to roll back toward the back waist. Walk your arms over to the right side. Keep them shoulder height. Press down a little bit more through the left hand. Aim that left armpit down toward the floor and really feel that length happening from your left hip all the way to your left armpit. Walk the arms back center, extended child pose, and then walk them over to the left side, pressing down a little bit more down through the right hand. And you're really making that dynamic energy, that move of the armpit, right armpit down toward the floor. And then that breath, lengthening down the right side of the body. And then come back through center. Slide the hands back, coming into a tabletop. Curl the back toes, and you're going to press down through the balls of the feet. Engage the belly to protect the lower back. You're going to press down through the balls of the feet, I already said that, and you're going to lift up through your knees. Just let them hover over the ground about a couple of inches, really pulling the belly in. And then let the knees come back down. Go one more time, press down through the feet. Lift the knees, let them hover, belly pulling in, drawing your frontal hip bones out to the belly. And then press all the way into a downward facing dog, lifting the hips up. Letting the heels come down to the ground, pedal through your legs. Letting that stretch come all the way down through the rib cage on both sides. And then gently stilling the movement, bend the knees a lot, pull the belly in. And then straighten the legs, press down through the heels. Good, bend the knees a lot, pull the belly in, look between the hands, step the feet to the top of the mat, forward fold. Bending at the knees, let the chest rest onto the thighs. Inhale, coming into half. Hands onto the shins, shoulders roll back, your chest forward, long spine. Good, and then exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way to standing. Arms out and up. Exhale, bend the elbows, open up through the chest. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, chair pose, press through the heels, sink down. Reach up through the fingertips. You know, imagine we are in that extended child pose. Palms are facing one another, but it's that energy as if your hands were onto the ground and you're pulling yourself forward, at the same time sinking back through the hips. Good, exhale, fold. Inhale, half. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, bend the elbows, open up through the heart. Inhale, up. Exhale, sink back into that chair pose. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, bend the elbows, open up through the chest. Inhale, let the arms lift up. Let the hands come together, let them come down, heart center, shoulders back and down, finding that nice standing position, frontal hip bones up. You know, nice and tall, add attention. Pull the hands away, palms are gonna be facing out. Arms are shoulder height. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. On exhale, I want you to rotate to your right side. So just rotating through the torso, and it may not be very far. Your hips are gonna stay forward. So it's not coming all the way, you're not shifting through the hips. I want the knees to be facing forward, the hips to be facing forward. Just that little rotation. Feel steady through the legs, so when we rotate later on, the legs are nice and strong, and you have that foundation. Inhale, rotate back center. Good, on your exhale, rotate to the left side. Good. Inhale, lengthen, keep staying where you are. Hips are aiming forward. Good. Pull the belly in, breathe. Inhale, come back center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, chair pose. And every time we come back into that chair pose, make it a little deeper. You know, when you sit in a chair after a while and it gets all warm and cozy and worn, well, let's make this like a new chair every time, but you are getting stronger. Good, exhale, fold. Inhale, half. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, bend the elbows, open the heart again. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, hands are gonna come heart center. So we're really gonna heat up the whole body. We're gonna go through a Surya Namaskar B, breath for movement. We're gonna begin, inhale, come into a chair pose. So our chair is just dedicated to that inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half. Exhale, plant the hands, step back 1 foot at a time to plank. Shoulders over the fingertips, bend the elbows. You can come down to the knees if you need. And then inhale, your back bend. High cobra or upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts up. Step the right foot forward. And then you're gonna inhale, lift. You're gonna lift a high crescent. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Step your right foot back, plank, shoulders over the fingertips, bend the elbows, flip to the top of the feet. You can come onto the knees or the thighs, wherever you're ready, and then exhale, down dog. Extra breath here. Inhale, left leg lifts up. Exhale, step the left foot forward. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands come down. Step the left foot back, plank. Your low push-up. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, down dog. Good, take a few breaths here, pedal through your legs. Just to warm up and connect even deeper that breath. Exhale, bend the knees, step or float your feet top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, half. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair. Exhale, hands, heart center, samastitihi. Catch your breath. We're going to do one more round. Inhale, come into chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half. Exhale, plant your hands, step back 1 foot at a time to plank. Shoulders over the fingertips, bend the elbows, lowering down. You can come down to the knees and then inhale, rise to a high cobra. Exhale, down dog. Step the right foot forward for a high lunge. Use your inhale to rise. And then exhale, hands come down. Step the right foot back to your plank, shoulders over that low push-up. Inhale your back bend. Exhale, down dog. Step the left foot forward. Inhale, rise, crescent. You can always start, come down to that knee. Exhale, hands come down. Step the right foot back. Shoulders over the fingertips, bend the elbows. Inhale your back bend. Exhale, down dog. And then take 3 breaths here. You can pedal through your legs. You can roll the shoulder blades back. Breathe deep. Check in where you felt that on your body, in your mind. Exhale, bend the knees, step or float your feet. Top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, half. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair. And then exhale, hands come heart center, standing samastitihi. Good, so just meant to warm up through the body and check in and add a little bit more dimension to our practice. Inhale, arms out and up. Good, exhale, chair. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half. Exhale, step the left foot back. Runner's lunge, scoots that right foot forward. Get a little bit slower here, taking a couple of breaths per movement. Move around, checking in. Good, I want you to come down to that left knee. You're gonna place your left hand onto the floor or to a block. You're gonna revolve the torso open to the right. So maybe place that right hand onto the right thigh as we deepen that twist. Protect the lower back, frontal hip bones are up toward the belly, your belly's engaged. Right arm can reach up. Gaze can be up or gaze can be down. Check in with the neck. And that stability of the legs, you're gonna curl the back toes, the left toes, lift the back knee, reach out through the foot. Good, open up through the chest. Exhale, right hand comes down. Fingertips come back straight in the right leg, round your chest or bring your chest over that right thigh, round through the back. And then inhale, put a bend back into the knee, plant the hand, step the right foot back to plank. Shoulders over the fingertips, bend the elbows, just inhale, back bend. Exhale, down dog. Good, bend the knees, step or float your feet, top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, half. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, open up through the heart. Inhale, up. Exhale, chair pose. Good. Inhale, lengthen up through Tadasana. Exhale, fold all the way down. Forward fold. Inhale, half. Exhale, step the right foot back. Look where it's going. Runner's lunge. Come down to the right knee. Plant the right hand. Open the torso to the left. Good, curl the back toes, lift the back knee. Reach out through the heel. Being strong through the legs and the torso. Exhale, left hand comes down. Step the left foot back to plank. Shoulders over the fingertips, bend the elbows. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, down dog. Taking a few breaths here. And then stilling the movement, walk your hands closer to your feet, just about one hand's distance. So you're kind of shortening your downward facing dog. Open your feet a little bit wider toward the edges of your mat, pressing down through the heels. Lengthening from your hips.
your hip all the way to the shoulder. Bring your left hand to the right leg, and maybe you hold on to the ankle, maybe it's up by the calf, maybe it's up by the thigh. And you're just going to rotate, bringing your gaze underneath the right arm, lengthening down the left side. And then remove the left hand. Press down through the hands and the arms, and the shoulders roll away to the back waist. And then gently bring the right hand over to the left leg. And holding on and then rotating, looking underneath your left armpit. And then gently release the hand, come back to your traditional dog, bringing the feet a little bit closer, walking the hands back out, lifting your hips up and back to where the wall and the ceiling meet. Good, inhale. From here, lift the right leg up. On an exhale, feed the right foot forward, top of the mat, runner's lunge. Back heel down, rise to warrior two. So your front heel, back arch alignment. Find a little bit more space if you need it. Lengthen through the torso. Reverse warrior, right arm reaches up and back. So lengthen down that right side. Feel that rotation of the chest reaching up toward the ceiling. Bring that left hand around to the right thigh. Good, exhale, come back through warrior two. Come to your side ankle, reach forward. Right hand, right forearm comes onto the thigh. Open the torso to the left, lift up through the left arm. So focus the hips, the shoulders, pressing down through the feet, strong legs. You're going to take your right arm, lift it off the right thigh, reach it forward. Inhale, lift back up through warrior two. Hands are going to come down to the mat, pivot onto your the left foot, step the right foot back, move through your vinyasa. Breath for movement. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg lifts up. Step the left foot forward. Runner's lunge. Back heel down, rise, warrior two. Move around onto your mat. You have plenty of space. And inhale, reverse warrior. Left arm reaches up and back. So we're preparing later on for leaving a little bit more rotation, a little deeper. So we're stretching down the whole left side of the body, really strong through the right side. Right hand can reach around to the front thigh. And let your attention be here, right now. Your sweet space. Exhale, come back through warrior two. Side angle, you're gonna reach forward, keeping the torso nice and long. Reach forward, left forearm onto the left thigh. Rotate the torso to the right. Right arm can reach up. So to make sure we get some really nice twists in, we're gonna make sure we're really strong with those left obliques, left waist muscles. And your attention through the legs, hug muscle to bone, contracting. Send the left arm off the thigh. Reach it forward. Breathe deep. No doubt. You've got the strength. Focus on where your body needs a little bit more attention. Inhale, lift back up through warrior two. Exhale, your vinyasa, meet downward facing dog. And in our down dog, pedal through your legs. Good, from downward facing dog, inhale, right leg lifts up. Exhale, draw the right knee to the outside of the right arm as your gaze comes in between the thumbs. Inhale, lift down. Exhale, knee into the chest as you float forward. Inhale, lift down. Exhale, draw the right knee to the outside or underneath that left arm. Gaze stays in between the thumbs. Strong obliques. Inhale, lift down. Exhale, step the right foot forward, top of the mat. Inhale, rise, crescent. So you'll let ball of the back foot frontal hip bones up. Reach up through the fingertips. Strong back leg. Hands are going to come heart center. You're going to hinge halfway down. Good, you're checking with that back leg. It's nice and strong. Your front leg is nice and strong. Your belly's engaged. Nice big inhale. On your next exhale, rotate to the right side. You're going to tuck the left tricep elbow onto the right thigh. And then from here, maybe you can rotate a little bit more. Good, belly's engaged. Press the hands. The thumbs are heart center. Gaze can be looking up. Good, checking in. We're always going to be adding on. Good, inhale, rotate the torso back up. Inhale, arms are going to lift up. Bend the elbows, open the heart up to the sky. Lift up out of lower back. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, warrior two. Good, reverse warrior. Coming into a revolved, an extended, I do this in class all the time. Okay, we're gonna come into a reverse triangle. Straighten the right leg. Press down through that right foot. Reach, reach, reach out, shoulders back. Good, exhale, come back through warrior two, but keep that triangle leg. So your right leg is straight. Reach forward. Same muscles we've been using through the torso. Right fingertips come down to the shin. Open the torso to the left. Lift up through that left arm. Coming into our triangle pose. Breathe. Your left hand, the back of the hand can come onto the lower back. Maybe a little bit more space instead of focusing on the fingertips to rotate that chest up to the sky a little bit more. Be mindful, use that right hamstrings. Press through the big toe so we're not locking through the knee. Got a light little bend. Good, inhale, lift back up through warrior two. Exhale, hands down to the mat. Step back, meet back, downward facing dog. Your choice. You can add to your vinyasa. You can pump through your arms. You can skip your vinyasa. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, left knee to the outside, left arm, pull the belly in. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lean to the chest, float to plank. Inhale up. Exhale, left knee underneath that right arm. Inhale, lift down. Exhale, step the left foot forward all the way to the top of the mat. Find that runner's lunge. Inhale, rise, crescent. Strong back leg, reach up, frontal hip bones up. Good, and then the hands come heart center. Lengthen through the spine, check in with the legs. Make sure you're not, there's not too much of an arch into the lower back. Stand up nice and tall through the torso. And then hold that through the belly, and you're gonna hinge forward. And then check in. And then inhale, lengthen. Exhale, rotate to the left. You're gonna take the right tricep onto the left thigh. Open the torso to the left. Okay, keep pressing through the hands into the heart center. Keep rolling that left shoulder back. Keep pressing through the legs. Good, stay here, one more breath cycle. Inhale, coming out of the pose. Reach up through the arms. Exhale, bend the elbows, open the heart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, come into warrior two. Reach to the fingertips. Reverse warrior, left arm reaches up. And then reverse triangle, straighten the left leg. And just spend some time here. From the toes up to the fingers. Your journey on the mat. Your exploration on the mat. Okay, let the torso come back through a warrior two torso, but keep the left leg straight. So coming into our triangle pose, left hip dips down, right hip is gonna come up, reach forward, left fingertips come down, open the torso to the right. And then once you find that rotation a little bit deeper, maybe you have a little bit more space down that left hand to come down toward the foot or the floor. If it doesn't have to go there. And even I really like using a block. You can take a block onto the outside of the leg. Good, inhale, lift back up through warrior two. Exhale, hands are gonna come down to the mat. Step back through that left foot, move through your vinyasa, meet, downward facing dog. Good, pedal through the legs. Check in with your waist muscles and your belly. Maybe revisit your intention. Good, from downward facing dog, inhale, right leg lifts up. Exhale, right knee to the outside of the right arm. Inhale, lift up. And knee into the chest, float forward. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, right knee underneath the left arm. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, step the right foot forward. Inhale, rise, crescent. And you're going to step your foot, the left foot, to the top of the mat, coming into a chair pose. Reach up. Hands are going to come heart center. You're going to rotate to the right side. Gently take that left tricep onto the right thigh. Yeah, and rotate back, shoulders back. Heart, thumbs are into the heart center. Good, I want you to stay twisted, but just come out of it just a little bit. Your gaze can come down at the toes. You're gonna step your left foot back into crescent. So slowly shift the weight to that right foot, step the left foot back, and then I want you to come back through that twist a little deeper. Good, take your time. Here we're gonna open up through the arms. Or maybe your hands stay heart center. It's a little bit more of a torque on the lower back, so be mindful, pull the belly in. Gaze can be up or down. Hands come back heart center. Stay into that twist, but come out of it just a little bit. Gaze comes down to the right toe. Step the back foot back. Sink back into chair. Your twisted chair. Inhale, come into full chair. Exhale, fold. Good, pedal through your legs. Release out of the lower back. Inhale, half. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, bend the elbows, open up through the heart. Inhale, up. Exhale, sink back into chair pose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, swing that right arm out, open to the right. Inhale, come up center. Swing that left arm down, over to the left. Inhale, come center. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half. Exhale, step or float. Make your way to downward facing dog. And inhale, lifts up. Exhale, knee comes to the outside of the left arm. Inhale, float the left leg up. Exhale, knee into the chest, float forward. Inhale, lift up. Left knee underneath the right arm. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, left foot comes forward. Inhale, rise, crescent. Shoulders back and down, frontal hip bones. Good, we're gonna shift the weight to the left foot, come into chair. Hands come heart center. Rotate the torso to the left. Right arm comes on down. Roll the left shoulder back, pull the belly in. Get a nice deep twist. And then I want you to come out of that twist just a little bit. Look down at the toes. You're gonna send your right foot back. Sink it back, find your base, and then come back to that rotation of the torso. Rolling back that left shoulder. Thumbs, heart center, pull the belly in. Get opening up through the arms. Stay where you are. I'm just gonna show a different view. Pressing down. Make sure you're not right on that elbow. You're pressing right above the right elbow. Gaze up or down. Hands back, heart center. Come out of that twist just a little bit. Gaze down at the left toes. Step the right foot top of the mat. twisted chair. Good, rotate back, full chair. Good, hands come down, heart center, inhale, lift up, arms out and up. Exhale, sink back to that chair. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, open up the left arm out to the left side. Inhale, center. Exhale, open up to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half. Exhale, plant your hands, step back through your vinyasa. Meet, downward facing dog. Take a moment here. You can come into a child's pose, toes together, knees open up wide. And allow yourself that check-in time. Stay hydrated, you need water. Not getting sidetracked. Good, 2 more breath cycles. Good, inhale, lift back up through downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, draw the right knee to the outside of the right arm. Inhale, draw up. Exhale, knee into the chest, float forward. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, left knee underneath that left arm. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, step the right foot forward, top of the mat, runner's lunge. Plant the left foot down. Inhale, rise to warrior one. So your hips are forward, about heel to heel alignment, whatever feels comfortable on the back and the front hip. Reach up through the arms, shoulders back and down. Good, sinking down through that back leg. Whole heel is connected onto that back foot. Hands are gonna come heart center. Straighten the right leg. Exhale, hinge halfway down. You might want to grab your block for this. You're gonna place the block onto the inside of the right leg. Hands comes down beneath the shoulder on the left. Right hand's gonna come onto the hip. Keep your spine nice and long. Rotate your torso open to the right. So revolved triangle. Good, pull the belly in, roll the shoulders back, reach it to the fingertips. Good, strong. Everything we've been using, everything we've been focusing on, bring it right here. Good, exhale, let the right hand come onto the hip. Gaze is gonna come down to the right toes. Grab that block, or you can use your fingertips. You're gonna send it to the right side of your foot, aiming towards your right toe, your right middle toe, right pinky toe, how's that? You're gonna shift the weight to the right foot, lift that left foot up. And you're coming into that warrior 3 variation, lengthen through the spine. Shift the block over to the left hand. Right hand comes onto the hip, open your torso to the right. Lift up through that right arm. Keep reaching out through the left leg. Revolved half moon. Breathe, gaze can be up, gaze can be down. There's different levels on that block. It can be flat, it can be at the tallest, or maybe you don't even need the block. Good, exhale, let the right hand come down, let the left foot come forward, forward, fold. Inhale, half. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, bend the elbows, open up through the heart. Inhale, up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half. Exhale, meet, downward facing dog. Good, keep that breath for movement. Pedaling through the legs. Breathing deep. Last side, inhale, left leg reaches up. Exhale, left knee to the outside of the left arm. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, left knee into the chest. Pull in. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, left knee underneath the right arm. Good, inhale, lift up. Exhale, step the left foot forward. Find the runner's lunge. Back heel comes down, rise to warrior 1. So even hands can come onto the hips so you can find that space. So the hips forward, You have the balance, frontal hip bones up. Inhale, lift up through the arms, shoulders back and down. You connect before we move on. Hands are gonna come heart center. Straighten the left leg. And then check in with the little points where the hips forward, tailbone down. Not locking the left knee. Thighs engaged, you're pressing through the big toe mound on the left foot. And then hinge halfway down. Right hand comes onto the floor to the block, left hand onto the hip. Keep the spine long, revolve the torso open to the left for our revolve triangle. Left arm reaches up. Gaze up or down. Breathe. Good, exhale. Left hand comes down. You're going to take the block or your fingertips, reach it forward to the left on the pinky toe side of your foot. Bring that block, lift, shift the weight to the left foot, lift that right leg up. Good, shift the block over to the right. Left hand comes onto the hip. Open your torso to the left for your half moon. So keep the spine long and it's balanced. If you come out of it, just set yourself back up and then come back into that moon. Revolve to half moon. Breathe. Good, coming out of the pose, left hand comes down to the hip. Right foot comes to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, half. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, bend the elbows, open up to the heart. Inhale, up. Exhale, sink back, chair. Good, holding this chair, lengthening through the torso. Frontal hip bones come back toward the belly. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half. Exhale, plant the hands, step back 1 foot at a time, and meet downward facing dog. Good, come down to the knees, child's pose, toes together, knees open up wide, sink the hips back. Inhale, lift back up through tabletop. Let the hands come beneath the shoulders, knees below the hips. And you're gonna circle the hips back, around, over the heels, over to the left. Lengthening, just kind of get a stretch through the hips and your waist and your ribs. A couple more times, same direction, leaning over to the right and then coming over to the left. And then switching sides, coming over to the left, circle over the heels, and then come back around, pull the belly in. And then come back through center. You're gonna move your hands to the top of the mat. Shoulders are over the wrists, so you're in a kneeling plank. Curl the toes, lift the knees, come into full plank. Shoulders back and down, pull the frontal hip bones up. You have an option. You can take this back to tabletop, wrists beneath the shoulders, knees below the hips. But we're gonna balance here. You're gonna lift the left foot, pull the belly in. Lift the right arm, reach it out. Right hand comes down, left hand comes down. Come into a downward facing dog or a child's pose if you're in all fours. And then float back to plank. Lift the right toes, balance. And then you're gonna lift the left arm. Move through the core, reach out through the fingertips on the left and the right heel. Hand comes down, foot comes down, downward facing dog or child's pose. Pedal through your legs. And then coming down to the knees, tabletop, and then swing the legs around. Bring your back to the ground. Feet to the floor, rolling down through the torso. Allow the knees to come into the chest, hug in. And then moving the thighs away from the chest, your shins are parallel to the mat. Arms are gonna reach up. But you're gonna lift up through the shoulders, pulling the belly in. You're gonna take the arms out to the outside of the left leg as you rotate. And then inhale, come back down with the shoulders, arms reaching up. And then inhale, lift up, rotate over to the right. And then come back down. You could reach up and over both arms. If you're holding a big heavy ball, keep alternating. And then focus on whatever breath is gonna work best for you. If you want to exhale up or inhale up. Really pull in the belly every time you reach up and over. Challenge, instead of coming all the way back down to the ground, keep your shoulder blades up off the mat and then just rotate, bringing the arms to the outside of the legs. Keep reaching, pull the belly in, a little bit more work. You have 8, 7, 6, you can do this, 5, 4, 3, 2, good, last set. Okay, if your shoulders are up, let them come all the way down, draw the knees into the chest, hug again. Feet to the floor, knees bent, arms alongside the body, shoulders back. Coming into our bridge pose, flatten the back, press down through the feet, and lift the hips. And add on, bring the shoulder blades together, interlace the fingers, clasp hands toward the heel, lifting those hips up. And then keeping the belly engaged, making sure we're not dumping into the lower back and checking in with that lower back. Twists, a lot of times we use our lower back too much instead of using the whole torso. So I'll give you some feedback for next time. Keep the belly engaged. Okay, release the hands, release out of the pose, lower all the way down. Knees come into chest, hug in. Coming into happy baby, open the knees nice and wide, feet up to the sky. Hands can come back behind the knees or reach up to the big toe, middle finger, index finger. And gently just hold onto the toes. You can rock side to side or straighten one leg or both. And then gently releasing knees into chest, hug in. Hug the right leg in, send the left leg long. And then switch sides, pull the left leg in, send the right leg long. Good, a couple more times. And then gently, you're going to switch, hugging and ending up with the right leg into the chest, extend the left leg long. Good, hug in that right leg. Guide your right leg over to the left side, coming into a supine twist. Maneuver around so that left hip can come toward the center of the mat. And then gently roll the right shoulder back. The gaze can come over that right shoulder. Your last twist. Using the ground for support, and keep the long, smooth breath. Find the position of the arms. Maybe it feels good to have that right arm up overhead or onto your body, and just kind of feeling how your body is resting into this twist. One more breath cycle. Inhale and an exhale. And gently coming out of the twist, let the head come back center. Let the right foot come to the floor so you can press through and lift the hips and rotate them back underneath you, knees in the chest, tag in. Send the right leg long, hug the left leg in, hug it in a little bit deeper. And then coming into that full supine twist, you're gonna let the left foot come to the floor so you can lift the hips, scooch them over to the left, and you're bringing that right hip underneath, and then send the left knee over, and then stacking the right hip underneath. You get a nice little adjustment here. If we didn't get one during the practice, the back always next releases. And right here, it was supposed to look good. You can bring the left, turn your gaze over to the left. Keep breathing that long breath so we release any resistance. Just let the twist do the breath of the work, and your breath guide you. Eyes can be closed. We have 3 more breath cycles. And then gently coming out of the pose if you're ready. If you need another breath, take it. Your time on the mat, but press down through the foot. Whenever you're ready, slowly just guide yourself out. Mindfully, aware. Hug both knees into the chest. And whenever you're ready, kind of rock side to side or circle around. Both directions. And then gently coming into our Shavasana. So however that wants your body, however that's going to show up for you. If you want the legs to extend and the legs to be long. If you want to do legs up a wall. If you want soles of the feet together and the knees open up wide. Let the back be flat. Just take a moment. Maybe you notice your body needs a little bit of a stretch before it can come into a Shavasana and be able to completely relax into it. So if that's the case, take time to move through your body, to stretch through the body, and then begin to find that space for your Shavasana. If you have an eye pillow or a towel, place it over your eyes. If you have something heavy, if you happen to bring a blanket or a towel with you and you want to place it on your belly or through your pelvis, rest it. Or if you have that block, rest it onto your belly or your pelvis. And then when you're ready to come into that Shavasana, just relax. As I will give you a distant Reiki treatment while you have your Shavasana, just allow yourself to completely relax. Take a nice deep inhale through the nose, open the mouth, and just release.
Slowly begin to bring the attention back into your body. Allow the breath to get deeper. Feel all that space through the body in the inhale, exhale. Begin to wiggle through your fingers and your toes. And if you're ready for a deeper stretch, circle sweep the arms up overhead and stretching from fingertips down the front of the body, out through the toes. And then exhale, let that go. And then whenever you're ready, begin to put a bend into the knees. Pull the knees into the chest, hug in. And then gently guide your bent legs over to the right or left side for fetal position. Using your arm to cradle that side of the head and let it be comfortable. Before rushing ahead to your day, take a moment here. We set our intention before the practice for our time on the mat. Maybe set your intention now for the rest of the day or the evening. Living in the question allows us to open to the infinite mystery, life unfolding in its own way, with us as part of it, along for the ride, open to being part of a larger universe which is not in our charge. So living in the question allows us to open to the infinite mystery, life unfolding in its own way, with us as part of it, along for the ride, open to being part of a larger universe which is not in our charge. Nancy Collier. Whenever you're ready, slowly, carefully bring yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Feel yourself move through the shoulders, checking in, rotating the neck side to side, shaking it. And then sealing in our practice, root down through the sit bones, arms out and out, big, inhale up. Palms come together, exhale, thumbs to the heart center, bowing down to the heart center. Taking a moment to thank yourself and to honor yourself for where you are on your path and on your journey. And from my heart to yours, namaste. Thank you so much for getting your yoga fix with me to here today and being able to twist it out. Hopefully maybe there's some shouts out and just able to move it out. So thank you for moving with me. Much love.